good, Aiden.
Well, talk about a bounce back. 3-4-2 run in the first half. That's the largest of the Mark Campbell era. This was the 66% shooting clip. We're now 7-0 under coach, and days following a break of at least a week. So that will take an opening statement from coach, and then any questions you all in the room have.
Well, really proud of our team. This week is one of those tough weeks for college kids. They got finals, and so they're busy doing that. And then obviously following up the South Carolina game where you kind of got a week where you just got to sit on it until you get another chance to go out there and compete. And so this was probably our best week of practice. We had 3 really locked in practices, and our word is growth. And when adversity hits in life, you got an opportunity to learn and grow from it if you choose to do that. And so could not be more proud of the way this team responded. Couldn't be more proud with the way we defended. That was something that we wanted. Our 2 focuses were to defend and take care of the ball. And we did an amazing job of those 2 things today. So, and we got contributions from a lot of people. So just really, really proud of this group. And as we continue to, go through the grind of the season.
How hard will it be to take Agnes Emma-Nnopu out of the starting lineup after a performance like that?
Agnes is just the ultimate glue, the ultimate warrior. She impacts winning in so many ways. And it was a unique circumstance. Throughout this year. I mean, she had the injury that came up out of nowhere. It wasn't even an injury, just an infection in her finger. And so she has really started to get back into the swing of things and the flow of things. But Agnes's maturity, competitive spirit, toughness, grittiness just impacts the game. And so, so proud of her. I haven't even got to really look at the stat sheet, but she had 10 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. Incredible. 5 assists, 0 turnovers. Agnes is a high-level winner.
So I've got 3 players who have at least hit that barrier in their career. Talk about how Madison played that and just seeing her join that club.
Well, Madison Connor had a heck of a week. She graduated and walked and got to go through that process, which is really special. And then to be a part of a 1,000-point club, that's hard to get into. And especially those first 2 years, she didn't have a huge role at Arizona. She played. But Madison loves the game of basketball. She works at it really hard, and so excited. She played really well, shot the ball really well. I think our team did a great job finding her. She got off 10 threes, and I would say all 10 of those were clean, good looks. And so happy for her to just get back in rhythm. But there was contributions from everybody. I thought Sedona and Haley obviously did what they do. DeAsia was a great spark plug. So it was neat to see contributions from everybody. But again, our team, we got to be elite defensively. We spent a lot of time and energy on that this week and probably kind of went back to the drawing board of square one and just remembered our fundamentals.
What was the difference defensively other than just kind of that refresher of fundamentals?
Yeah, obviously the reps that we spent on it, but this is a mature group that wants to compete at the highest level and wants to have a chance to compete for a Big 12 title. Wants to have a chance to host NCAA tournament games. And so when you go play against South Carolina, there's a lot of lessons that you learn. They are the pinnacle of our sport. And as talented as they are as basketball players, I walked away there with their mental preparation, their focus, their toughness between the years. That South Carolina is elite there. And so for our kids to kind of see that and go, okay, we got to continue to grow. That game served its purpose. And the purpose was go test yourself against the best team in the country. And we got to do that, and I want to thank them for that. I mean, a lot of today's, the way we played was due to last Sunday.
How much time did you spend? Like, you don't want to look back, but you want to learn those lessons. And then how much time did you spend on that film before you kind of turn the page?
A good chunk, a really good chunk, because there's so many lessons in that game. There really, truly is, from what we need to do basketball-wise and off the court, what we have to do mentally. And you got to, I mean, the South Carolina thing, you got to feel it. You got to see it. You got to taste it. And so our kids, because we are old, sometimes those games can rock you. in a bad way. This game, it rocked us in a good way. And I was hopeful that we would respond that way, and it was easy to see. You saw a group that played 40 minutes of basketball on both sides of the court at a high level. So just proud of this group.
Yeah, and you got to be pumped about the accountability that each player was taking. You didn't just win by 35 points. It was like 51.
Yeah, you're spot on. There was the accountability level. There is a group of these kids that want to play after college basketball at a high level, and they know there's things they have to continue to work on and grow on, and then collectively this group wants a chance to make a deep run this season. And so the accountability that this group had and accepted this week. And I told them at halftime, I told them after, I'm so proud of them. And we challenged a couple of these kids this week to continue to improve. And when you hold young people accountable, sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. That group in this locker room responded.
Well, you could talk about the accountability, just how this team's come together. They were still playing as tough as they could in the fourth quarter, and you just saw them cheering for each other. Just kind of talk about the character of this team a little bit more.
Yeah, the character of this team's special, and we've been watching. You know, there was that initial phase where you don't totally know as you put a team together, especially in the portal era, and you got off to this fantastic start. And in a healthy way, sometimes you lose sight of staying humble and staying hungry as you go. And it was things were almost coming too easy for this group. And so the South Carolina deal was a reset, and it really was in the best way possible. And we learned those lessons. And now you got a chance to put together another string of games if we do what we're supposed to do. And so this group's special. They're special as leaders. They're special in the ability. They want to be coached. They want to be challenged because they have big goals, both individually and as a team.
You're playing in the Dixon Classic. This is your second experience for that. Can you talk about what that means to you, what that means to the program, and women's basketball in general? Yeah, so,
I mean, what's special about the Dixon family is it's way bigger than women's basketball. It's college basketball, and Coach Dixon it has had a huge impact on the men's side. And then you got Maggie, who was one of the rising stars on the women's side. And so that family has had a huge impact on college basketball. And so, one, to just continue her legacy is really special, and to honor her and her family, especially while Coach Dixon's here and what he means to this school and this campus and college basketball. So we'll do it every year, and it's a neat way to honor them and honor Maggie.
I'm assuming your parents approve of the big performance. Did you lean on them a little bit after the South Carolina game?
One, it's neat. My family's here, you guys. Really special for me. And my dad was a long-time veterinarian up there in the Northwest. And so when you grow up on the farm and around that culture, you don't really take vacations. You don't get away. And so it's neat. They haven't been able to catch a lot of my coaching career, and so they're here right now, and they're enjoying this. And we got them an Airbnb, and we're going to see how long they can stay. They're hoping to stay for the season, but really they haven't been away from the farm much more than 3-4 days because you can't. And so it's really, really special for me and my family to have them here and get to see these games.
You were talking earlier about individual players who kind of have really nice games. So Donna Hunter had her highest scoring game in several weeks. Just talk a little about her and what she wanted to make you kind of challenged to take out next step. Yeah,
Donna is one of the most humble, team-oriented players that I've ever coached. And, you know, there's, man, the journey of a season. So you got these kids that will come in and you have high expectations, but learning a new system and getting plugged into a new team with new coaches, with new teammates. In theory, everybody wants it to happen instantly and be seamless, but reality is it's not. It's not that easy. And so Dono, especially at the point guard spot, it's like a quarterback that you can't just drop them in and make a seamless transition. And so Donovan's played a huge role in helping us get off to a 10-1 start. At the same time, she's working through her process and her own journey. And one thing that I'm really proud of, Donovan has stayed in the lab and continued to work and been coachable and gets her film sessions. And so I am so happy for that kid. How many threes did she hit tonight? She went 2 for 2. I love it. 8 points, 4 assists, 4 boards. Had a great floor game. And so we need Donovan Hunter for us to play at the high level we want to. And for us to reach our goals, Donovan has to be a huge part of this, and she's going to be. And so proud of her. I'm excited. You know, sometimes you don't always get rewarded for your hard work. Sometimes you just keep grinding, keep chipping away, even when you don't see results. But they'll eventually come. And it's a great lesson for young people to learn.
How valuable do you think it is having veteran guards like Haley and Madison kind of mentor Donovan?
Incredible. I'm going to start with Haley. Haley's, you guys, from the day that she stepped foot on campus, and this goes way back to her training for the Olympics, and she's doing 3-a-days to get ready and is locked in. And I told her, don't worry about any TCU stuff. You worry about your journey with the Olympics. And to watch that unfold, and then when that's done, and watch her turn the page and pour into our team and our program, like, I literally can't describe how mature Haley Van List's work ethic is, humble spirit, her pouring into the team. I mean, she wants to have a special individually, obviously, but she wants this team to max out. And so that kid has not had a day off. And what I mean by that, her ability to mentally bring it every practice, every workout, every game. Haley's one of those kids, she doesn't have a day off. It's incredible. And so for our team to watch, for Donald to get to see that, and then Madison's different. Madison, she is very focused on her repetition, her training that she does. She gets it in every day, and she is locked in on Madison Connor, which people get to see Madison's. So it's in a different way. They each have a great impact. But to have veteran guards like that in college basketball is special, and it's what you need to be elite.
Always kind of a weird time of year. You had a week break, you'll play a
Yeah,
couple
it
games,
is.
you have another week break, and then you've got a conference game coming up here pretty quickly. So how do you kind of manage the schedule and deal with the time off and the time on?
Yeah, you nailed it. It's very awkward. It's choppy. You know, you got the finals week where you're not allowed to play a game. You get a couple games. We actually start league December 21st, so before Christmas break, and then they'll go from Orlando home. They'll all spread out, and then we'll come back and have practice on the 26th, and right on the back end of that start league. And so it's a tricky time period, which everybody's going through it, you know, and so it's one of those, you got to stay locked in. They handled finals week, as you could see, as well as possible, went out and performed. As coaches, you're always a little anxious when you send them home for Christmas break, and you want them to recharge mentally at the same time. When kids are home, you know, you have no control over what they're doing in their day-to-day schedule. And so, but this group's old. I trust this group a lot, and I believe this group will do what they're supposed to do. So when we come back, we continue on this trajectory. So it's just part of college basketball. Every program's going through it, and there's nothing you can do to change it.
Any final question for Coach? All right.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Good to see everybody. Good job.
I'm so sorry, Coach. I'm so
I mean,
sorry.
talk about you guys not following through on what you're supposed to do, okay?
Hey, Coach, who did the scout tonight?
Nia Jackson, she did phenomenal, actually. And there was a lot of pressure after the South Carolina game. We approached the scout different. We went live against it. You know, there was just a different level of focus from our coaching staff and the players. And so Nia did a phenomenal job getting this group prepared. And I think it showed with our defensive effort. I know in the first half that was our lowest point total of this season that we held someone to. And so you finished. They shot 28% from the field, 25% from three, and so Coach Nia had these guys ready to go. Thank you for asking.
Listen, I'm heading into finals.
You're so cute, baby.
All right. Well, Madison. Madison had a post-game obligation to hit, but I figured Sedona is a safe consolation prize and said she's only scored in double figures in 31 of 32 games as a Frog, and then Agnes, 10-plus rebounds for the 6th time, and those 5 steals were a career high, just a great all-around game. So whatever questions you have in the room for these two.
Agnes, this kind of felt like for you the first game back where you really were firing on all cylinders. Just talk about kind of getting back to this point for you and just what it felt like the other day.
Yeah, I think just like we had a great week of practice after the loss with South Carolina, so I think in my head it was just like, okay, come out here, like just remember like last season, come out there, play hard, and I think, yeah, kind of just showed a little bit. Yeah.
Coach talked about just what a teaching opportunity and learning opportunity last week was and the renewed focus. He said you guys watched a lot of that film. As a player, like I read, that can be a blessing and a curse. What was that like?
Yeah, it's a learning opportunity, but it's definitely frustrating just knowing how good we are, how good we can be. But yeah, I mean, it's a game that we were gonna watch, but remember that, if we continue to play hard and play our game and be confident and do what we do best, then we can really run with anybody in the country. And so, it's a great lesson for us, and I think that in the long run it'll be a big blessing. Yeah, and I think speaking on that as well, like obviously South Carolina's like top tier program, and like they exposed a lot of things that we need to work on. But I think watching the film kind of showed us that a lot of the mistakes we made, like it was our own fault. We shot ourselves in the foot. So I think coming out after watching like that video, coming out in practice and coming out in this game was just a bounce back game. Yeah.
Coach has been, you guys too as players, been very open about your goals this season. To be a top 16 team, to host games.
Yeah.
How does that kind of motivation get you through a difficult loss?
I think we think about it like obviously we had 3 top 25 games scheduled, and obviously like South Carolina is like the pinnacle of basketball. For us to have, I guess, I'm big in like school and stuff like that, like 66% in this test that we had scheduled for ourselves. I think that shows us that we can really compete with anybody. And obviously like the first quarter with South Carolina, we were matching up and playing well, and we sort of just like went on the defense. So yeah, I think we know that what we can do. Yeah.
Was it difficult having like that week break? Because normally you have 2 or 3 days when you're playing a game against. Was it difficult having that week break between games?
I mean, we always love playing and competing, coming out in the shoal and being with our fans. It's always a blessing, and it's why we play. But no, I think it was good for us, truly to kind of reset, to come back, to come together, to figure out what we need to work on. And then we had, 3 amazing practices where we just really locked in on defense, and just had a different energy, every day. And so I think it was awesome. I think it served us really well. Yeah. And yeah, just adding to that, I think it allowed us to just kind of tighten up again as a collective. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive effort tonight was really something else. Both of you guys obviously are a huge part of that. Is that communication? Coach, you kind of went back to the drawing board. Was there anything specific that stood out to you and what you adjusted ahead of today? I mean, it's just energy, right? Energy, effort. I mean, we are so athletic. We're so long. We have so many incredible athletes on our team, and just so many good players. And so when we're playing with energy and effort and together, right, we're working on communication as well. It's a thing we'll grow on for the rest of the season. But when we're playing all together, everyone's just locked in, just hungry to get, stops and the ball back. There's really, teams really struggle a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You guys are obviously so experienced. Can you feel that amongst the team when you're in preparation for these kind of games?
Yeah, I would say yes. I feel like there's a lot of voices who are putting in a lot of important input, and everyone's just able to listen. And I think we're such a mature group that no one's taking anything personally. It's okay, I know you can do this, so I want to see you do this better. Yeah. Right. We have so many girls that have been in the Sweet 16, Final Four. Agnes has a national championship ring, so everyone has a lot of experience. Been in really tight games, been in those kind of war situations, right? And so for us to bring all of those experiences together and then fight through them together as this new group is, it's fun. It's pretty cool.
You had all these giant milestones on your schedule with 3 ranked opponents, but you're a game away from getting to start conference play. How much do you look forward to getting into league and setting that next goal of winning a league championship?
Yeah, I mean, we got one more, right? We never think too far ahead, but the Big 12 is a great conference, right? There's a lot of amazing teams. I'm personally excited to match up in the Big 12 and play, just because obviously I missed all of it last year. And so I'm really excited to play a lot of my games in my home state. And, my freshman year, I left the Big 12 and I was kind of heartbroken. And so now to be back and to be like playing these rivalry games like Baylor and, Iowa State, Kansas State, I'm pumped personally. But yeah, it's great conference. Every game we're going to have to come out and play unbelievably hard, play together, and it's going to be a long fight. But I have faith 100% in our team, what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like these are the kind of games that you need leading up into like NCAA tournament play and things like that. And obviously we want to put ourselves in the best position to host teams. So getting to match up against those teams, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
And then Coach was talking about you guys definitely taking accountability on the court to get your result tonight and your response. But he also said the off-the-court things that you guys did were really important in responding after that, too. What were some of those that maybe you guys did as a team to get this response?
Yeah, I think like when you come off a loss like that, it's very easy to like turn around and point fingers and like shift blame to other people. But I think everybody sort of like put their hands up and they were like, okay, I could have done A, B, C better. And I think we just bounced back in terms of like, okay, I'm not going to like complain. I'm not going to be annoyed that the coach is coming at me. I'm going to just, take it on the chin and respond.
Yeah, I think there's just a positivity too, like feeding off that, like, everyone took so much accountability, right? Like, I did this, but it was we came together as a team, lifting each other up, saying like, hey, it's okay, right? We forgive you. It's we know who you are and we're going to move on and we're going to be better. And, we expect better out of everyone. But yeah, we came together so much, I think, this week, just bonded and really had each other's backs and lifted each other up.
Everybody gets in. You have a lot of people scoring, people who may not necessarily play a lot. What's it like for you guys to do your jobs and then be able to watch them have their success?
It's awesome because obviously in practice they work so hard, and it's like for them to have the opportunity and to produce in like environments like this, it's just there's no greater feeling. Yeah, especially Deja's.
Yeah, coast to coast floater.
So hot. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, play the game.
Yeah,
that was
play of
awesome.
the game. That was incredible.
Yeah. Piggyback off that, like these, it's such a special group that we have. Like genuinely, right? Like like a lot of people say like family, when they talk about their program, but this program is genuinely one of a kind, very special, and so to cheer on other teammates because they cheer us on as loud as they can when we're playing, and so it's special, and you never know who we're going to need down the season or down the stretch, and so yeah, it was a special game today. Yeah.
And you talk about this incredible, maybe one culture. What do you think builds that, creates that, especially in this transition era? You have so many different pieces coming in.
I would say it definitely starts on the top. Coach Mark is really big on like, obviously he wants to recruit great players, but he also wants to recruit great people. So I think like no egos, everybody is kind of here for like the one goal of like, we want to make this program into something that like you look through history and be like, okay, TCU was one of those top basketball programs.
Yeah, ditto. Like he's so. What Mark is best at is like building the puzzle, right? Building the team is every piece is a good human being first, but great basketball players play well together, good humans, good people. Like we want to learn and grow and be the best versions of ourselves, and so he's amazing at that. He's done it everywhere he's been, and he's produced success and winning, and so Aggie's right.
Did you guys feel a little extra pressure with his parents in town today? Is that kind of up a little bit?
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah, he said they're coming in from Washington. They've only been off the farm for like 3 days. I don't know if he told y'all. Yeah. They're awesome and we love them, but I'm excited. They're going to stay for a while too, so it'll be fun.
He said maybe the whole season.
Yeah.
So you really got to show out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we gotta
Yeah.
lock in for it,
Guys, let me see if I asked this question right.
Yes.
I want to ask what drives you to play the way you do, just kind of that extra effort, doing the dirty work, the hustle type plays. What drives you to play this way?
I don't know if like anything in particular. I would just say like I want to be like if I'm not knocking down shots or like doing like on the offensive end producing, I think for me I just want to be that person that my teammates can look on and be like, okay, like scoring isn't the only thing that matters in a basketball game. Like I could dive on the floor, I can get extra possessions. So I think for me it's just wanting to like inspire others to be like, okay, like work ethic really does matter in sports environments.
Is she inspirational, Sedona?
Oh yeah. Aggie's one of our team captains. she's obviously so hardworking, but she's such a good spirit. Like Aggie's always just like she's the best teammate. Truly, I'm so blessed to play with Aggie. She's been an amazing friend to me these past 2 years, and so on the court, it's it's amazing when like it's so cool when like I'm blocking out and on like underneath the basket, and then all of a sudden she just flies out of nowhere and grabs a rebound. It's just so exciting. It's so fun to play with a player like that. That's just a dog and will just go get the ball. And then off the court too, obviously, we love Agnes so much.
You guys were playing as a part of the Maggie Dixon Classic today, and obviously it's Coach Dixon's sister, and it means a lot to him and to TCU. Any personal kind of reflections on playing in a game like this and having opportunity to showcase one of the rising young coaches that was lost too soon?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a blessing that we get to play the game that represents so much, represents so much more than just the game of basketball. And so obviously, Coach Dixon is an amazing, a part of this community. And so being able to go out and play for him, but for Maggie is such a blessing, and we don't take it for granted. And just constantly bringing awareness to things like that and just uplifting the game and the people around it is what we love to do.
Yeah, and I guess just to back off of that, our team, like obviously we're our own family, but I think TCU basketball as a family as a whole. So like seeing him up in the crowd and being able to honor his sister was awesome.
Anything else for these two? Okay, we'll see you in 48 hours.
Awesome. Thank you guys.